Salut mes amis, j'espère que tu vas bien. Aujourd'hui, nous apprenons les pronoms sujets et les verbes être et avoir. Hello my friends, I hope you are fine. Today we are going to learn the personal pronouns and the verb etre and avoir. For the previous videos on French language, you can find the link in the description box, and do subscribe to the channel and do watch the video till end for better understanding. Commencons, let's start. So let's see how the personal pronouns that we have in English, what they are called in French. So, in English, for first person singular, we have I, right? So, that is je. Je in French language. It means I. When I am talking about myself, I use je. And if you look at the plural, we, right? I ka plural we ban jata hai. So, the plural is we, and in French, we call it nous. Nous. Nous is first person plural, and in English it is we. In French it becomes nous. Second person. Second person is when you are talking to someone, right? That becomes the second person. So you. Second person in English is you, and in French the singular second person is tu. Tu. Second person plural. In English it is you, and in French it becomes vous. And coming to third person. Third person is when you are talking about someone, right? So first person is when you're talking about yourself, singular. Second person is when you're talking to someone, so that is you. In French it is tu. And third person is when you're talking about someone, right? So it can be masculine, he, it becomes il in French, or it can be feminine, she, which becomes elle in French, right? Now looking at the plurals, in plural the third person plural becomes they, right? So we have il in French for masculine and elle in French for feminine. Okay, so the pronouns are listed here. Les pronoms sujets: je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, and elle. Il, elle, the S is not pronounced. Even in nous and vous, the S is not pronounced. So it is nous, vous, il, elle. Okay? I, you, he, she, we, you, they. Fine? Now, looking at the conjugations of etre and avoir. Something about these verbs. Etre and avoir are the most important verbs in the French language. I think there will be hardly any sentence in which one of these two verbs is not being used. Okay, so as you learn this language, you will, by use and practice, you will learn their conjugation by heart. Okay, so let's have a look at them. Etre. Etre means to be. Okay, so how it is conjugated with the different pronouns is written here. With je, we write suis, je suis, which means I am. Okay, with tu, we write es, which means you are. With il and elle, we write est and est, which means he is or she is. Il will be he, elle will be she. Nous sommes, we are. Vous êtes, you are. Now just make note of this here. The accent, there's an accent which is used here. Vous êtes. Okay, now to know more about the accents, you can find the link to the video in the description box. Ils sont, they are. Elles sont, they are. Okay, so ils, elles sont, and nous sommes, vous êtes. Clear? Coming to the second verb, that is avoir. Avoir means to have. Okay, here because je has an e, okay, and here there's an a, so two vowels are coming together. So when two vowels come together, we use an apostrophe. Okay, so I have used an apostrophe here and it becomes j'ai. Okay, so j'ai apostrophe a I, j'ai, I have. Okay, tu as, il a, elle a. The meanings are written here. And nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. Fine. I have, you have, he or she has, we have, you have, and they have. Okay, so these are the conjugations of two very important verbs in French language, etre and avoir. Okay, now in French language the verbs can be divided into three groups. Okay, but etre and avoir are not placed in any of the groups. They are termed as the auxiliary verbs. Okay, they are not part of any of the group. They are separate verbs, auxiliary verbs. Okay, now let's have a look at the three groups of the French verbs. So the verbs, the three groups of the verbs are the er group verbs, the ir group verbs, and the irregular verbs. Okay, now out of these three, the biggest group is formed by the er group verbs. Okay, so 90% of the verbs in French language end in er and they belong to this er group. Okay, then the second biggest group is the ir group, where the verbs which end in ir come into this group, and the last group is the irregular verbs, where there is no specific ending or there is no trend as such which can be seen. Okay, so these verbs, therefore they are termed as irregular. There is no regularity in among them. Okay, so as I said, er group verbs, the verbs end in er and they belong to this group. In ir, the verbs end in ir group. Okay, this is the largest group, this is the second largest group. Okay, now let's do one example each, then I'll tell you how placing the verbs in these groups is helpful and you don't need to remember the conjugation of all the verbs which are used in French. If you remember the conjugations of these two groups, more than 90% of the verbs are done for you. Let's see. So in er group, with je, we use the ending e. Okay, and in tu, we use the ending es. With il, e, l, e. With nous, we use ons, and with vous, we use ez. Ils, ent, and else, ent. How will we conjugate the verbs like this? Now let me explain this with the help of an example. Okay, let's take the verb parler. Parler means to talk, to speak. So what do? Here is a verb which is ending in er. So what do? We remove these two letters er. Okay, now we have got a base verb. In front of this base verb, we'll put these endings and it will give us the conjugation for this verb. Okay, so parler, which means to speak. So parler, if I put it here, it will become je parle, tu parles, il, elle parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, il parle, elle parle. Okay, let's take another example. So for the next example, I have chosen the verb aimer. Aimer means to like. Okay, now you can see here this verb is ending in er, so it belongs to the first group, that is the er group. So what we will do is we will remove the ending, we will remove er and we will take the base. Okay, so our base here is aim. Okay, and we will put this in front of these endings. So it becomes, now because this is starting with a vowel and here also, so here I will put an apostrophe. Okay, so it becomes gem when you pronounce it. So it becomes gem when you pronounce these two words together, it becomes gem, I like. Okay, so tu aimes, thuing, il aime, il aim, el same, el aim, nous aimons, aimons. These two come together. Okay, vous aimez, aimez, and ils and elles, aimer, aiment, aiment. Okay, I hope it is more clear now. Okay, now to practice you can choose more verbs which are ending in er. For example, jouer. For example, jouer, which means to play. Demander, which means to ask. Okay, so practice these two verbs, and if you face any problem you can leave your doubts in the comment section. Now coming to the second group, or the IR group. Okay, now in IR group the endings are with je it is is, with tu is, il and l it is it, with nous it is issons, with vous it is isses, and with il and l plural it becomes issent and issent. Okay, so these are the endings. We have to go the same way that we did in the first group. We take the verb which is ending in ir. For example, finir, finir, it is ending in ir, and the meaning of this verb is to finish. Okay, to finish some work or to finish your food. Okay, so finir, what we do, like we did in er, we will remove the ending. So I will remove this ending ir. What I am left with, fin, and I will put this base in front of these endings. Okay, so let's see. So with je it will become je finis. With tu it will become tu finis. With il and l it will become il finis. With nous it will become nous finissons. Okay, with vous it will become vous finissez, and with il and l it will become finissez. Clear? Okay, so let's do one more example here. For the next example, the verb is choisir, which means to choose. Okay, so choisir, same procedure. We remove the ending ir, and now we are left with chois, and we will place this base in front of these endings. Okay, so with je it will become chois, choisi. Okay, with tu choissis, choisi. With il and l chois it, chois it, choisi, choisi. With nous it will become choissions. Choision. With vous, it will become choissiez. Choisier. Okay? Once again, choisis. Choisi, 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 choision, choisier. And with il and l, it will become choisi. choissiessent and choisissent. Okay, I hope this is more clear now. So for practice, you can conjugate these two verbs, réussir and remplir. Réussir means to succeed, okay, and remplir means to fill. Okay, so remplir means to fill and réussir means to succeed. Okay, you can conjugate these two verbs, and if you face any problems, you can leave your doubts in the comment sections. Fine. Coming to the last group, that is the irregular group of verbs. Now here there is no such trend seen. For example, here we know what are the endings for the ER group and what are the endings for the IR group, but with the irregular verb we don't have any such rule that these are going to be the endings. Okay, so for this group of verbs you will have to memorize the conjugation. Okay, today I'm going to tell you about the verb aller. Okay, aller, which means to go. Fine. So with je, it becomes vais. Okay, so you can see here it has entirely changed. Okay, here the verb is aller and what we have in the conjugation is entirely different, right? So that is why this group is termed as the irregular group. So je vais, I go, tu vas, vas. Okay, il va, il va, elle va, elle va, nous allons. Okay, nous allons. So here we get to see the verb, but before that, by looking at this, if you don't know the conjugation, you really can't know that this is the verb aller, right? Vous allez, allez, ils and elles vont, vont. Okay, clear? So you can see the conjugation is entirely different. Okay, so from now on I will try to include one irregular verb conjugation in each of my videos. Okay, so gradually you will learn these. Okay, I think for today you need to just remember the ER, IR and aller group. Practice these verbs and keep learning, keep enjoying. I hope you like this video. Do subscribe to the channel and see you next time. Au revoir.